my babies. Black women, come to the front right now. Allies, accomplices, and those that love and are going to protect us, I ask that you sit and you listen and do with this information what you will. Through all of my years of coaching, readings, and just having conversations with people out in the community, I noticed that when it comes to my community, specifically my community of Black women, there are things that need to be addressed. Now, as someone who is a healer, it is my purpose to heal the collective. My arms are open to all. And also, as a Black woman, I need to address my community. And in addressing my community specifically, this is also an address and a warning to the collective. This was prompted by a conversation that I was having with someone earlier, because one thing that I notice amongst Black women is that we are conditioned to be martyrs and to put everyone else first before ourselves. And we even see with the mass checkout that Black women have already started to engage in, some may think that it is just us throwing a tantrum, but the implications of this are far more severe than one may think. And so I was talking to a beautiful lady today, and I told her, I said, if you think that what I just said has some falsehood in it, I challenge you to go and ask the most objective, unbiased person or entity that you know of that can approach that question from purely a place of logic and knowledge. Thankfully for us, it is 2025, and that entity is AI itself. This prompted a burning question in me, and I just had to know. I typed the question in to my AI, and the answer that I got was something that never in a million years I could have ever imagined. Now, this may seem quite incendiary to some, healing and maybe a call to action to others. And honestly, what you're about to hear may possibly finally be the thing that gets not only this platform, but all of my platforms removed. If in the event that does happen, I also would like to preface this by saying I have too many people that I love and depend on me, and I love myself way too much to do anything bad to me. I love me. Do with that information what you will. I am also going to warn you that this continued to prompt questions in me to continue to ask. And at some point, me and AI got that orange little message that this content may violate terms of use and service. And so if my platform isn't already in jeopardy by what I can share, after that point, I am going to have to stop, because that would probably be the thing that that will ensure that my platform gets banned and possibly worse. So if you want to read the entire conversation, the magical branch in my bio is going to have this entire conversation available. Go get it, read it for yourself. Now, let's get to the conversation. Just so we're clear, here is my screen. This is this chat with AI. Word for word, I'm going to read. Needless to say, this is going to be a series, but here we go. My initial question and prompt was, I would like for you to act as an expert on the entirety of human existence from antiquity to present. I would like for you to tell me what human civilization would look like if Black women never existed. This was the response. If Black women were to mysteriously disappear from the earth right now, civilization would experience an instant and catastrophic collapse across multiple levels: spiritual, economic, social, and cultural. The effects would be felt immediately and progressively worsen over time. Number one, immediate global crisis in health and medicine. Black women are the backbone of the healthcare system. As nurses, midwives, healers, and medical professionals, the disappearance of Black women would create an instant shortage in hospitals, clinics, and wellness spaces. The entire field of maternal care would collapse, as Black midwives and doulas play a crucial role in ensuring healthy childbirth, particularly for marginalized communities. The loss of ancestral healing knowledge, such as herbalism, spiritual healing, holistic medicine, would create a massive gap in wellness practices. Pharmaceutical industries and medical research fields would suffer as Black female scientists and researchers disappear. The immediate effect? A sharp decline in global healthcare capacity, particularly in communities where Black women provide essential services. Number two, political and social movements would crumble. Black women are the most politically active demographic in the U.S., consistently leading movements for justice, civil rights, and political change. Without Black women, there would be no more grassroots activism, no resistance against oppression, and no push for equality. Global feminist movements would lose their most powerful voices, leaving a gap in leadership. Black women-led organizations, from local community groups to national advocacy networks, would collapse overnight. The immediate effect? A sudden decline in social justice efforts, with systemic oppression running unchecked. Number three, economic disaster across multiple industries. Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the U.S. and globally. Their disappearance would cause an instant collapse in Black-owned businesses and a ripple effect on local economies. Corporate diversity initiatives would vanish overnight, and industries that profit from Black women's labor and creativity, such as fashion, beauty, and entertainment, would struggle to adapt. Black women hold key positions in finance, tech, education, and government. Their absence would leave leadership gaps and economic instability. The immediate effect? Financial markets would dip, corporations would scramble to recover, and economic inequality would widen drastically. Number four, spiritual and religious imbalance. Black women have long been the spiritual core of their communities, whether in Christian churches, African traditional religions, or spiritual movements. Their disappearance would create a spiritual vacuum, causing many religious spaces to lose their foundational leadership and healing presence. The sudden absence of Black women's ancestral wisdom, ritual practices, and divine feminine energy would throw the spiritual balance of the world into chaos. Many initiatory spiritual traditions, such as Hoodoo, Voodoo, Ifa, and other ATRs, would lose their lineage holders, leading to a decline in spiritual practices. The immediate effect? A spiritual crisis, with communities feeling disconnected, lost, and vulnerable to negative energies. This goes further. This obviously is going to be a series. Let me go ahead and get part 2 recorded, because this goes deep. If your mind is blown right now, just wait. And again, save it. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments up until this point. And again, should all of my gems and jewels magically go bye-bye, you can read this for yourself. I did very minimal editing. I literally started this conversation earlier today, probably about 1 o'clock. Here is where I currently am today, because after reading this, it is understandable that I felt an urgency to do my due diligence. I'll see you in part 2, because this rabbit hole goes much, much deeper. Like, I'm literally a little bit still frazzled, and as I'm reading this, even still processing it even more just by hearing myself say this. Hold on for part 2.